In this video, I'm going to give you 3 of the best ways for you to start improving your ankle mobility right now. So before we actually get into the 3 exercises to improve your ankle mobility, we need to have a way to be able to tell if our ankle mobility really needs work and also to measure progress to see if what we're doing is actually working. So to do that, we're going to be using the 5-inch wall test. So if you've got a tape measure or a ruler like I do, you can set it up against the wall like so. I have it set up to where it stops where the 5-inch line is. And so our goal is to be able to, with our foot firmly pressed against the ground and our heel not coming up off the ground, to be able to get our knee to touch the wall like so. If you don't have a tape measure, another thing that you can do to measure out approximately 5 inches is take your fist and your thumb extended like this and put it against the wall like so. And as you can see, it's about the same distance for the 5 inches. So let's say that you put your foot down and you try to get to the wall and you can't get there like this. You can bring your feet a little bit closer and closer until you find the spot where your knee does actually touch the wall. So then I could say, okay, I'm at 3 inches right now. I need to get to 5. And an important thing to do is to make sure that you test both sides. So I'll just set my other foot around the same spot. And for me personally, I think my left ankle is a little bit less mobile. So let's see if I can get to the wall. Just a little bit short. So now what we can do is when we do our exercises, we can do a retest, which I learned from Squat University, and we can see if what we did actually made progress to see if my ankle mobility actually improved. The first thing that you can do if you have it available is grab a foam roller and foam roll your calves. There's a good bit of evidence that says that foam rolling your calves will at least acutely increase the range of motion of your ankles, or at least for a short time following doing it. The research is a little bit less conclusive on if it actually improves long-term ankle range of motion, but I think it would be reasonable to say that if you're foam rolling regularly, that your ankle range of motion will be increasing from it. So in terms of what to do when you're foam rolling, there's not any like strict protocol that you need to be doing. I would say probably going about 1 to 2 minutes on each leg, and you can just do kind of a bigger roll across like this, or if that feels too easy, you can kind of lock in on certain points, use your opposite leg to lock it down, and when you find a tender point, just kind of stick on that for about 10 seconds. I also find that pressing this toe down makes it feel a lot more tender. So you can do this as long as you want if you feel like it's helpful, but it definitely is a good thing to do if you're about to do a squat workout and you need your ankle range of motion to be improved for that workout. Foam rolling is a great place to start. So let's get into the next exercise. All right, so this second exercise is really important. It's one that's not really talked about as much. Most people tell you to stretch your calves, and maybe people tell you to foam roll as well, but I think people miss out on this one. And this might be the thing that's been holding back your ankle mobility for a long time, especially if you've had a history of ankle sprains or other ankle injuries. This specific movement of the ankle likely has been lost for you. And so we're going to be trying to gain that back with this exercise. So the movement that I'm talking about is called tibial rotation. And so it's basically your tibia sits on your ankle joint, and its ability to rotate back and forth is going to be important for your ankle to be able to dorsiflex as much as it needs to. It gets to a certain point where if the tibia can't rotate anymore, it can't dorsiflex anymore. And so the way that I initially learned how to do this was from strength and conditioning coach Mike Boyle, and his way of doing it was just by doing leg swings, which I don't really have that much space, but would if you've seen that exercise where you're basically swinging your leg back and forth, which is causing your hips to rotate, which is causing your knee to rotate. And so basically the direction that our knee is pointed is going to be in essence where the tibia is. That's how we can see how it's rotating. But the way that I do it is a more simplified version. You don't need as much space. It's not as much movement. We're essentially doing the same thing, but we're not swinging our entire leg. We're just replicating that hip movement. And so I want to make sure that I'm planting this foot into the ground I don't want when I swing this way for my ankle to roll, and I don't want to bow in when I go this way. Basically, that's going to be your foot trying to compensate so that you don't have to actually challenge your rotation. So we're going to plant that foot in the ground like so, and then we're going to be trying to drive that knee as far out this way as we can, and then go back in, trying to drive that knee pointed as far in as possible while keeping that foot stable. So we're going to be going back and forth each way. We're going to go 20 each way. This is what it should look like. And then once you do 20 there, you can do 20 on the other side. Now, if you're looking for something to do before a workout just to improve your ankle mobility for squats, you could just do one set of 20 on each side. But if you're really trying to improve your ankle mobility in the long term, maybe you're doing this at home, I would recommend doing 3 sets of 20 on each side. And this order of exercises is really important because we want the tibial rotation to be mobilized before we go into this last exercise. All right, so now that we've foam rolled our calves and improved our tibial rotation, now we're finally at the point that we're actually going to stretch our calves and try to improve our ankle range of motion. So odds are if you're trying to improve your ankle mobility, it's in regards to squatting or some other movement where your knee is in a bent position. So that's something specific that we want to do. We don't want to do as many standing stretches for our calves because that's putting our knee in a extended position. We want to improve the ankle range of motion in a flex position to target the soleus muscle. And so we're just going to use this chair. I'm going to put my foot, I'll put this foot on first. So we're going to put the ball of your foot on the edge of the chair. And then we're going to bend our knee, try to bring that hamstring to our calf, drive that knee forward, and then I like to grab onto the chair to get leverage and just try to pull myself into my foot and drive that heel down. You should feel a stretch in your deep calf muscles or in your Achilles. You can hold this for 30 seconds, trying to continue to pull yourself deeper and deeper. And then you'll do the same thing on the other side. And once again, I think that if you're preparing for a workout, just trying to improve your ankle mobility for the day, I would just do one set of 30 seconds on each side. But if this is an issue that you really want to eliminate and you're working on this at home or spending extra time in the gym on it, I would do 3 sets of 30 seconds on each side. All right, so those are the 3 exercises. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to go through those 3 exercises off camera and just show you what retesting would look like and how to know if you've made progress, and also to see if it worked for me, see if it would probably work for you as well. All right, so I just went ahead and went through the routine that I just gave you. 2 minutes of foam rolling each leg, 3 sets of 20 of the tibial rotations on each side, and 3 sets of 30 seconds of the calf stretch. And I have the tape measure set to 6 inches now, just so that we can see any continued progress past 5 inches. So when we tested earlier, I had my right foot past the 5-inch test, but hardly. So let's see how it goes with 5 inches now. Gets to the wall pretty easy. So let me try to back it up to 6. And yeah, now we're getting there with 6 inches. So that's probably about an inch of improvement in dorsiflexion for the right ankle, maybe even a little more. Now let's try the left ankle. The left ankle was not able to pass the 5-inch test. So let's see if we can pass the 5-inch test now. So that's foot's at 5 inches. And get there. Let's see if we can even back it up a little bit. And still getting there. So now this foot has gone from a limitation in mobility to now having improved mobility and actually becoming a strength for me. So just to summarize what we went over, First, we want to do, if it's available, we want to do foam rolling, about 1 to 2 minutes on each side, focusing on the tender points, then moving into tibial rotations, 20 rotations each way for each leg, one set of 20 if you're just doing it before a workout, but you can do 3 sets if you're really trying to improve your mobility, and then moving into the calf stretch with the chair. Again, you can use a bench, you can use any other elevated surface for that. One set of 30 seconds each side if it's before a workout. You can do 3 sets of 30 seconds if you're at home or at the end of a workout, or if you're just trying to improve your mobility.